current chair of Community Action Milton Keynes, I am so proud of our community mobilisers' work over the last few years in the Eastern Expansion area. This film looks back on their work on Broughton Gate and Brooklands and also looks forward to their work on the Western Expansion area. Community mobilisers do what it says on the tin. It's not just about engagement or involvement, it's about mobilising people to take action for and with others in the communities where they live or where they have an interest.
I got involved in community activities because it's where I live, it's where my children grow up, and I think it's important to give back to where you are, and I believe what you give out you get back. And it's nice to help other people, you know, feel as part of the community and us all feel like we can support each other and be there for each other if we need to be.
But the community mobiliser process starts earlier, when people first arrive in a strange place where they know nobody. In Broughton Gate and Brooklands, community mobiliser Josanne Race is often the first friendly face they see.
We hadn't been here very long, and Josanne greeted us as we walked in and introduced us to other families that had just moved here, that had children going to the local school, and it just went from there really.
Yep.
That initial contact is such an important foundation for the future development of the individual resident and ultimately the community. So establishing that early contact with new residents is a key stage in the community development process, as was demonstrated earlier this year at a pop-up event in Tattenhoe Park.
Myself and the parish have come here today to welcome new residents. We thought we'd do a pop-up with the gazebo and some activities for the children, just to make them feel welcome and help them stop and think, oh, you know, what's going on here. We've done the arrivals programme for quite a long time, and it was very successful, as in, here's a welcome pack, if you need anything, contact us, but it didn't get people out of the house talking to each other. And we really want people to know their neighbours. For example, some of the feedback today was, no, we don't know anyone locally. So I said, what would help with that? And she said, family activities. That would get us out on the estate, talking to each other. So we're just trying new things all the time to make people more welcome in the new areas.
If stage one of the community mobiliser process is giving information and being a point of contact for new residents, then stage two is organising events that provide opportunities for people to meet one another, develop friendships and discuss their hopes and ambitions for their new community.
Before we lived here, we lived in Bradwell Village, but I wasn't aware of any social activities. There didn't seem to be the community feel that you've got here. I don't think they had anybody like Josanne arranging the events and getting people to meet and greet and so on. I didn't really know anybody in the local area where I used to live, but now in Brooklands everybody knows everybody, it would seem. So I think that's because of the events that are arranged and how people are brought together.
Giving support, encouragement and advice to residents who want to take on the responsibility for organising community activities themselves is the third stage of the community mobiliser process. In this third stage, the community mobiliser plans for their own succession.
The reason I decided to set up the residents group was from talking to Josanne, attending all the community events, I realised Broughton and Brooklands is such a huge area that actually if you wanted to borrow some toilet roll from a neighbour, you had no idea who your neighbours were. So the idea was we set up a big lunch so that if you ran out of cup of sugar or you needed to go to the doctors, you had friends around you so you could build a really close support network up. And without the support of Josanne, that would never have happened. We wouldn't have known anything about how to get funding. We wouldn't have known who the people we needed to contact in the area to make it happen.
In June, the Community Gems event provided an opportunity to publicly recognise and thank the achievements of local residents who have been key in developing the new communities.
It's assertive behaviour.
In September, we started a series of short courses to develop community leaders. The Community Accelerators programme includes sessions on first aid, food hygiene and practical advice and support on setting up and running community events. The idea is that there will be a bank of skilled, confident and active residents who can take action in their community and encourage and support others to do the same. The architects design the new areas, the builders build them, but that is just the framework. It's people who make a community, and it's the vibrancy of a community that is a huge factor in determining whether people put down long-term roots in an area.
This is my home, my children are here. I want to build memories for my family. I want them to be able to play in the streets and know they're absolutely safe. I want them to be able to go to the park, and I want them to just have happy memories of their childhood. So it's incredibly important. It's the whole reason I do it. The fact that it benefits everyone else around is just a bonus, but it's because I want a home and to feel completely safe and know and have friends and just build a community, I guess. It's just the most important thing, I think, to know that you live in a nice, safe, happy environment and it's beyond the bricks around you.
We have seen over the past few years, as Broughton Gate and Brooklands have developed, that new residents are actively contributing to local decision making, that newly formed groups are delivering services and support and activities, all helping to build the kind of community resilience that is needed to cope with the challenges of the future. It's not all down to Community Action's Community Mobiliser service, of course, but we believe that our model of intervention has led to significant community development, enabling and empowering residents to lay the foundations of robust and sustainable communities.
Across the areas that we work, one thing we've found is consistent is people's excitement about getting involved in their community. So it could be running activities in the east or chatting to us about their issues and interests in Tatternoe Park. The new exciting project we're doing at the moment is the Western Expansion area, which we've done walking tours and a public exhibition. Wherever across the city it is, we've found that people are really interested in what's going on. They're very passionate about getting involved in the community that they live in. They want to make it a better place to live.